talk later, Jeff.
Okay, so.
Now you're good.
Okay, good, thank you. For that. Do we have Ginny? Oh, okay. Sorry. That'll just be a minute. One of our board members is joining via phone. Hello, you can just sign in right there. Welcome,
Welcome.
have a seat. Just about to get started.
Hi, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone, okay? Okay. Oh, get here.
All right. It's 6:31 PM on September 18th, 2025. I'm going to call this meeting of the Atlantic Community School District Board of Education. This is a special board meeting we're having. I'd like to call it to order. Could we have the roll call, please?
Jody Goodrich,
Yes.
Jenny Jordan,
Yes.
Josh McLaren,
Yes.
Laura McLean,
Yes.
Christy Pellick. Yes.
Thank you. We have a very brief agenda with just 2 action items on it. Can I have a motion to approve?
Jenny,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Christy. Yes. Jody.
Yes. Okay, before we begin, I did just want to take a minute. I can't believe I'm doing this again, but to recognize that we've had a death of one of our students, and it's reeling in the schools and for us as board members too, and for all of our staff, in particular for the ones who were more closely related to our students, and we just really appreciate all of them, and I know my heart is out for everybody, as well as for their family. I want to just take a minute, just to pause and, great, if you feel that, otherwise just take a minute. The young lady was in 7th grade, I assume people. I really wanted to have some sort of great words to say, but there's absolutely nothing to say. Except for that, our hearts are absolutely with her parents. Tonight, this board is going to be looking at 2 action items. Both of them are related to the master plan that this board has been working on for, I think, a little over a year. Yeah, because it was during our summer board retreat that we talked about what are, as we look forward to the future of our district, what are some of the needs that we need to address, and how do we go about that? And so we invited in some consultants who are specialized in helping boards think through the issues of their needs. We started out with a very large list of things that were needed, including the high school roof, which we're going ahead and working on that project now with money that we had saved. And then a whole bunch of other things, many of which we were able to shift onto lists of just sort of long-term. We're gonna use money that we have set aside to do those over the course of the next 5 years, 10 years, I think, 10, like. But there are some really major items, including a massive renovation of Washington School. Some repairs needed to be made to that glass walkway that goes between Schuler and the middle school. And we have a plan to sort of widen it, which will also solve some other problems that we're having there. We want to improve our security entrances. We've been, I think ever since you came, actually, security has been a major focus for us to try to think about security in all of our buildings. And then Schuler, the bathrooms are really apparently pretty bad, and there's just some ongoing plumbing problems. And doing big projects like that, it feels hard when you have some sort of really major things. We can't really pay for the changes we have to make to a building over the court. We can't make it piecemeal. We kind of have to do it all at once. And so what we're doing is we are asking the community to support the school district by us putting this bond, proposal onto the fall, ballot. So, at this point, the board needs to vote on the specific language that would be happening with that bond, right, Lisa? And we had to do this at a special meeting because of timing, like this is sort of like, we have to do it today to make sure that it gets onto the bond for November 4th.
And we had to get the petitions in order to do that.
Right, we really we were constrained on both ends, and so this really was the day we needed to do it, so I thank the board for coming out and being available, and Ginny making yourself available by phone. For us to be able to do this. So, would the board like to make any further comment or questions on this? And otherwise, someone's free to make a motion.
I move we approve the resolution ordering the election of the issuance of $22.5 million in a general obligation school bond.
I'll second.
Okay, Josh,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Jody,
Yes.
Ginny,
Yes.
Okay, our second item is regarding, this one's a little bit more complicated to explain. When the board was looking at the master plan proposal, one of the other major components of it was an athletic facility that would stand alone. We sort of considered whether we could do expansion on the high school, and that was not going to be the best option. We're trying to really get as much athletic facility for the money that we possibly could. And this concept of adding a structure, I don't know if it's not technically a building because it's connected to our building, so and adding it onto the west side of the high school on that sort of flat property that we have over there. Was sort of the most efficient. I should have you guys do it. You've spent a little more time on it, but that was the most efficient and effective way for us to get as much bang for the buck that we could do to sort of meet some long-term educational and extracurricular needs that we've had. So in order to try to keep the amount of that general obligation bond that's going to be on the November ballot, to try to keep that property tax impact low, we decided to separate out the athletic facility from all the other projects. And we were able to, because of the cost of that athletic facility, which was going to be around, I think we were talking around 16 million, maybe somewhat more. We left some overage in there, that we would be able to borrow against the school district's anticipated revenue that comes in from the 1 cent sales tax. And so all of those 1 cent sales taxes across the state get all consolidated in Des Moines and then get redistributed based on the size of our district,
Based
or
on
based
number of
based on the population of the city. And so that's money that's coming in. It's about 1.8 million plus per year. And we have been spending some of that money. Am I right, Lisa? We've been spending it to pay off the debt that was from the Trojan Bowl and the other changes that, not that.
No,
middle school.
it
middle
was,
school.
the middle school renovation that was done prior to the fire.
That's what it was. Thank you. The middle school renovation done prior to the fire, which we then had to redo some of it after the fire, but that came through insurance money, right? So we're still paying off that debt that we had, using this save money, and I don't remember, does there SAVE?
Secure and advanced vision for education.
Secure and advanced vision for education is why it's called save money. And so, we're going to have that much money that is coming into the district. And we certainly could spend it on small projects as we go along, but it's not enough money comes in a given year for us to be able to spend it on a large project like this. And so what districts are able to do, very common practice across government, is to take that anticipated revenue and go out and take a loan on the expectation that that money will be coming in, and we're going to dedicate some of that money toward paying back this loan. So, that was what the board voted to do. We did have some citizens who wanted the opportunity to vote on this particular use of that save penny tax money. And so signed a petition, asking the board to, put that particular issue onto the November ballot. Am I saying that right? Okay. So at this point, what the board has the option to do, we need to, we respond to that petition that's come in, which was legally filed and legally filled. And, so then what we need to do in response to that is either we withdraw the decision that we had made, or we go ahead and we respond to the petition and say, sure, we'll put it on the ballot and we will let people vote on whether the electorate, the people who show up on November 4th or send in absentee ballots, whether they want the save money to be spent in that way. I'm saying that all right? Okay, good. Thanks, you guys. So Lisa, I know you were getting some like legal guidance on how exactly we need to do this. Are these going to be two separate motions, or is it like a pick one, or?
So you are voting on whether you want to rescind the resolution that was done August 27th. That said that you would use the funds in the way that you described, or you can call for an election. For those saved dollars.
Can I clarify? And it's just a question that occurred to me, and I'm fairly certain I know the answer, but I don't want to make that assumption. Because we had some distinctions about the general obligation bonds. If the public votes positively for that, we are obligated to spend that money in that manner. The difference was with our resolution authorizing the potential issuance of bonds. We didn't necessarily have to do that. We were just authorizing those funds to be issued for that specific use. If we put this on the ballot and the public passes it, does that change the nature of that language, or is it still with our intent? So it doesn't become an obligation that we have to issue that amount of bonds.
That's, you can.
I'm thinking of that correctly.
Yes.
It maintains the integrity of what we originally authorized.
Yes.
Okay.
You
And so if the public votes for it, then they're saying that the board has the authority to be able to borrow against the safe for that particular purpose. But
In
doesn't
that amount, but it doesn't mean that we
It doesn't
have
mean you
to issue 18 and a half, or we
Yes.
have to.
necessarily-
And it doesn't have to even go for field house.
Yeah,
You can have another public hearing and say, we're building a library.
okay. Correct.
So you are just.
So let's not confuse.
I know.
You're just saying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
you are, yes.
okay. But probably, I would say, the electorate can figure that, we had already spent a lot of time figuring out this project, had a lot of conversations about how important this was to us and how important it was to our students and to the future of the district and the community, and decided that it was, and that this was the right time for us to be building it. That, there's various forces at play and prices of construction almost always go up. And so this is a good time for us to push that through, is the decision that had been made.
And really, I think that we felt strongly about the projects that we prioritize, the importance of all of them. And we're looking at them kind of in total, how can we get these projects funded? With minimal impact to the property taxpayer.
Yeah. So, and people who are hearing of this for the first time, I'm amazed that you are. But we do have a website that you're able to find out more about it. So I guess at this point, so we just only need, well, I guess I'm gonna invite the board to have some discussion. Or explanation, or, ask any other questions you have before, someone will need to make a resolution. Either to rescind the plan that we had already made, or or a resolution to put that save usage, that what's it called? I guess it's the resolution we made onto that ballot.
So you can make a motion in a second and then have discussion.
Yeah.
And then
Put it up, yeah. Unless anyone has any questions, but. Ginny, do you, I want to make sure I don't forget you.
No, I'm good.
Okay, great, thank you. I'll take a motion then.
I'll move for resolution ordering an election on the issuance of approximately 18.5 million school infrastructure sales, services and use tax revenue bonds.
Second.
You wanna have discussion before we vote, or you wanna?
Is there
So-
anybody who'd like to?
I thought we were discussing before we did that.
Well, I would give it an opportunity for questions, but I certainly would welcome if you wanted to say why you chose to make that motion rather than another.
I think that we have showed that is what we feel is needed to move forward. We've done lots of research and I think that's what we owe the constituents and they can vote on it.
I agree. I'm saying, I don't think there's any secrets as to what side I'm on, but I'm one person and. You know, kudos to Justin and his crew. They did what they can legally do and we'll get to the end of it. And I guess we'll let the public, you know, we're only 5 people and that's part of the. Whatever you want to call it, the process, the. Government process and we'll get to it and so let's vote it, see what happens.
And in fact, I'll say that, you know, even that this outcome was something that we had talked about as being a possibility. When we were talking about that there were some people who felt like they weren't interested in us spending anything else on athletic facilities, we were kind of like, let's revisit this, let's talk it all through, let's look at our numbers. And we still felt like we needed to do it, but we said, but if people feel really strongly, they still have an option. They have the ability to petition and the ability for us to put it onto the ballot. So this was, you know, this. In my mind, it's one of the things the board talked about as being an outcome, so.
I feel strongly, the project has merit. I think it can stand on its own feet. I hope, you know, the public sees the need because we certainly have seen the need. Certainly over the last 10 years, and I would say probably even longer. You know, I talked to a previous board member and he said, we needed it when I was on board, so.
All right, Ginny, did you have anything else?
I think, I feel like we talked this over at length and made our decision back when we decided to just go with the save funds. And I'm good with putting it on the ballot and letting the public decide.
All right, take a vote. Christie,
Yes.
Jody,
Yes.
Jenny,
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
Laura.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate everybody who's in attendance in person, or watching us and, for your interest. And, just thank you for supporting our schools and our students. Really appreciate it. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I still move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Bye, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny.
Jenny.
So